This documentary is mainly made up of the following. A sample questionnaire is shown to test how much awareness is found within the youth about e-smoking. Next, I created a brochure listing the causes, consequences, and solutions of e-smoking. Next, we took our brochures and questionnaires to school, where we gave out our brochures to students and teachers, whereas our questionnaires were used in surveys, as we surveyed more than 50 students in our school, with the aim to test whether they had sufficient information about e-smoking or not. We also spread awareness about the effects and causes of e-smoking along with its solution through our brochures. Similarly, in our localities, we also went out and gave out brochures to teenagers, spreading awareness about e-smoking. Moreover, in order to gain the perspective of a user, our team member Usman went out in his locality. This enabled us to gain the perspective of a user, as this taught us that peer pressure and flavor appeal are major influences that can lead to e-smoking. Additionally, our team member Abhyan interviewed a foreign student living in Manchester, England, UK. After a productive conversation with him, we learned about the cultural perspective of e-smoking. We learned that e-smoking is highly discouraged in the UK. However, despite restrictions by the government, users have still found loopholes and they are still unable to get rid of their addiction. Next, in order to get a insight on the causes and consequences
Thank
of
you very much.
e-smoking, our team member Syed Ahmed Usman interviewed a general medical specialist, Dr. Syed Zubair Yunus, who told him about the
As
causes and
e-smoking is
consequences of
concerned,
e-smoking in detail.
young boys get impressed by their fellow students and friends who continuously smoke. And first they start e-smoking, and they can later on can lead to cigarette smoking. And as we all know, in Pakistan, drugs are very common and very easily available. So this is the beginning that e-smoking. People initially think that e-smoking is not dangerous. They take it as a recreational activity, but later on they become habitual, and they start smoking vigorously.
Lastly,
Brain
he also
stimulation is very
provided
much, and later
solutions
on
to e-smoking that
a
he
person
found
who
most
starts
effective.
e-smoking become habitual of smoking, and they can't quit it. And later on, it can lead to adverse effects on the heart, and it causes the ischemic heart disease later on. That counseling is the most important step that we should tell the person who has started smoking that it's not good for his physical and psychological health, and the coaching by teachers and the parents training is very important in quitting the smoking process. Thank you.
Consequently, I also conducted an interview with a gynecologist, Dr. Aisha Azhar, who provided me with useful information about the detrimental effects of e-smoking on fertility and other reproductive health issues, along with the solutions she found most effective throughout her practice.
More commonly used among the teenagers nowadays? According to me, the environment and the social media has a great impact on use of the e-cigarettes among teenager girls.
How does the e-cigarettes impact a teenage girl's health?
Just like all other cigarettes, e-cigarette also contains nicotine, and for male and female both. The cigarettes affects from head to toe, including your mouth, including your lungs, cardiac system, gastric system. Every system are affected by cigarettes. as it just like the conventional cigarette, e-cigarette also contains nicotine, so both of them has equal hazards for one's health, as I previously said. Nicotine has a very adverse effect on the reproductive health system of a female. It affects the estrogen. Estrogen is basically a hormone. A female reproductive system contains two hormones, as a main two hormones, progesterone and estrogen, and it affects the estrogen. And all the functions related to estrogens are affected by the nicotine. What? I guess different programs should be initiated, including campaigns, seminars, and they should be held in schools, colleges, and universities that can spread awareness regarding the hazardous effect of e-cigarettes on the teenagers' reproductive health, because it will affect the menstrual cycle and it will affect the further reproductive life, reproductive health of a girl. So such steps should be taken in schools, colleges, and universities to prevent this.
Thank you. Subsequently, we produced a poster that could be presented in front of a large crowd, listing our causes, consequences, and solutions extracted from the interviews taken beforehand. Hence, we conducted a assembly in our school, where in front of a 500 plus student crowd, we presented our poster mentioning the causes, consequences, and solutions of e-smoking that we presented really comprehensively by explaining in detail every component of the poster, therefore spreading awareness about this unhighlighted issue in front of a large crowd.
About the causes of e-smoking. Feel inclined to start it. And secondly, there is flavor appeal and nicotine addiction that is found in e-smoking. Nicotine is an addictive material that is found in e-cigarettes, so people quickly get addicted to it. Marketing also plays an important role in the spread of e-smoking as
So there are many effects of e-smoking. Some of them are nicotine addiction, lung damage, chemical exposure, and mental health problems.
You have heard the causes and effects. So now I will tell you the solution. So firstly, it is possible that awareness campaigns can be carried out like we are doing. We are going in schools and local communities spreading awareness about this causes and effects of e-smoking. This can be really influential in helping the youth quit. Next is regulating sales. This is really important because unless you stop the outflow of something, it is not possible to stop it completely. So that would be needed. Next, there are school programs and counseling, as they are really important for one to tell everyone what are the real effects and how one can do it. Here it is.
Lastly, me and Ahmed Usman went to a rehab facility that was carrying out a rehab program for the addicts of drugs like heroin, cocaine, cigarettes, and especially e-smoking. Hence, we donated them 8.5k rupees as a part of our spreading awareness campaign, along with a productive talk with the receptionist who told us about the functioning of their facility. However, we could not succeed in meeting the patients due to the no meetup policy of the rehab facility. Upon seeing the rising influence of social media in the modern day, we decided to upload all of our research, including our photos, videos, interviews, and even this documentary, on our social media page named Smoke Free Zone. There, we amassed more than 2.5k views on our videos. Lastly, to conclude, it has also been suggested by the following studies that more than 50% of the youth is not aware of the detrimental effects of e-smoking, hence making our research even more crucial and significant.